Ahoy! Welcome at the Festival of Bubbles of the 62nd Zlín Film Festival. Every day we welcome some of our favorite festival guests. And even if I might say that I'm not easily starstruck, today I am a little bit because Martin Smatana, the guy that we're welcoming in the studio right now, made one of the most moving short films that we've seen in a long, long time, and it was called The Kite. And we're really happy to have him this year in the Zlín Dog jury of the festival edition 2022. Martin, can you explain a little bit about what is Zlín Dog? It's not maybe the section that attracts the most audience in terms of children, but it's a section that is really important to the festival. Can you tell us what it's about?
Yes, first of all, I would like to thanks for inviting me. It's a very big honor to me. And then to answer your question, Zlín Dog is competition of student films from all around the world. There are student animated films, documentaries, and student live action films. And personally, for me, usually student films are sometimes even more interesting because, you know, students tend to experiment. They sometimes don't follow this usual structure. So from what I saw so far, I really enjoyed them.
What you saw so far, did it also tell you about the people who are making it? Can you read between the lines of those films and discover something about the young generation of filmmakers nowadays? Who are they?
So films that I have seen so far here at the festival were mostly graduation movies usually from film schools, made by students. It was usually cooperation between students, directors, student DOP, and so on. And yeah, I would say that they are very creative. They really search for a way for paths which were maybe not walked yet. You know, as I said, they really like to experiment. And I was also with my colleagues from jury. We were quite amazed about the level of quality of the films. And today we also continue watching two other sections.
Mm-hmm. Zlín Dog is, as far as I know, not only, at least for the filmmakers, it's not only about having their film screened, it's also about meeting each other. I remember years ago, before the festival for 2 years went on in quite isolated situation, but I remember years ago there was a tent up on the hill, and one night, the opening of the Zlín Dog, we saw all those students coming down with their backpacks, meeting each other at the bar, immediately bonding with each other. It was like a real community feeling, getting to know people from your age, coming from from other countries and exchanging experiences. How important is this Zlín Dog section as a social gathering, as a social event for the filmmakers?
I think Zlín Dog, as you said, is also important not only because of watching films, but also because of meeting this community. And I remember when I was student in Bratislava and then at FAMU in Prague, I used to come here quite often, and we were meeting with different students, you know, not only from Slovakia and Czech Republic, but also from different places in the world. And since the festival is actually the oldest festival for children and young people in the world, there are also a lot of international students which can meet with students from, you know, for example, from Tomáš Bati University, which is based here in Zlín, and it also has very strong animation department. So yes, I think I see this as a big opportunity for, you know, for networking, meeting maybe possible future collaborators. So I really love this atmosphere around the films.
Does it mean that in the festival archives there still some compromising pictures of Martin Smatana on a dance floor during a Zlín doc party?
There might be some, but yes, in these years, some years were quite strong and quite funny, mostly when we were students. But
Maybe we can
yeah.
use those pictures one day when we're going to fight to have your world premiere of your next film. Then we might have a strong argument why you should bring your film to Zlín.
Yes.
The world of student films is not so far away from where you're standing now, because The Kite, the film that traveled so intensively around festivals all over the planet, actually was your graduation film. It was a student film that you made how long ago?
I made The Kite in 2019 as my graduation film at FAMU, at the Master Studies of Animation in Prague. And so it was premiered in 2019 at Berlinale. And we also screened it here in Zlín. I remember the screening, it was so beautiful. There were so many children, and children audience here, they can really like feel it. They, when the film is boring, you really see that they are bored. But if the film also, it's funny, they are like fans, they are shouting, they are like giving names to these characters. It's such a strong atmosphere.
Thank you so much for your nice words about the Zlín audience. You remember the times when you were making The Kite, and probably people around you more experienced were advising you about certain decisions. After you saw the first sections of the Zlín Doc Festival, how would you work as a mentor, as an advisor of young filmmakers? Is it something that you could do, and what would be your most important advice to them?
So when I was making The Kite, most of the people were telling me not to make film about a death for children because it might scare them.
That was a very bad advice, I should say, but okay.
Yes, and many people were asking me like, "Are you going crazy? Like, why you are not making film about some funnier topic, some nicer?" But I knew that I want to make, I want to talk about this topic of death, but still in a way which is understandable for children, which is very, very easy talk by symbols. And no, but I mean, most of the mentoring was really great because I was, pitching this project on a lot of pitchings, and I got a lot of valuable feedbacks. And this is what I also try to do with my new film, like to consult it as much as possible during various pitching forums and development labs. And after I saw some of student films here at the festival, I'm not sure if I am the right person to give some feedback, but from time to time I sometimes consult projects of students, by video call or meeting, and I give them some advice. It can be technical or it can be script wise. So yes.
Good. I have one last question for you, since you're in Zlín, capital of shoes. Can you show us the shoes you're wearing? And do you maybe have a story about those shoes or about the importance of shoes in your life?
Yes, sure. These shoes, they are not Baťa shoes, but this is Slovak brand called Novesta. I think Lion Gallagher wears them. And it's Slovak brand. That's why I bought them, because they are quite comfortable. And shoes play quite important role in my life because, for example, 2 years ago I made this touristic hiking trip, which took 27 days. It's across all the Slovakia. You start in east point, and you finish in Bratislava, in capital. It's 770 kilometers by walk across all the mountains. And that was the time.
It's hard to do it without shoes.
It's hard to do without shoes, yes. And that was the time when I realized how important is very good shoes.
Thank you. And I also suppose that the brand will be very grateful for you for this small promotion spot. But I like them. We can maybe discuss exchanging shoes later.
Yeah.
But I also was very happy to have you here in our festival bubbles. Thank you so much for making some time for us in your busy schedule. I really hope you enjoy the rest of the Zlín section. I hope you'll enjoy working together with your jury. And thanks a lot for sharing all this with us.
Thank you. Thank you also very much for inviting me, and enjoy the rest of the festival.
You too.
Bye-bye.